Hi, guys. Welcome to the energy update for February 26th through March 4th. So we're moving into March. It's feeling a lot more like winter today than it is spring, but spring is definitely coming. So fingers crossed. I know for those that are on the other side of the world, they're moving into more of a fall type energy. This week is going to be very, very interesting. Before we get into the energy update, I want to remind all of you that we have some amazing new content coming in March. Starting March 1st, we will have all new creators putting up some really great informational stuff. And a couple will be doing readings and just really great stuff. So if you missed the preview, there is a preview roundtable where you get to meet most of the creators, and then we'll have another roundtable tomorrow morning or Friday morning. So I guess it'd be this morning because that's when this will be published, Friday morning, on Twitter at 10 a.m. Eastern, and you can get to know some of the new creators. I'm really, really excited about this. So mark your calendars, turn on the notifications. Whatever it is you have to do, share also. It's not just about astrology and tarot anymore. We're going to be bringing a lot of stuff to this channel to really help everybody evolve. This is about, helping with evolution, everybody's minds evolving. So lots of really great fun stuff. This week we have a lot of things happening this week. We've got a lot of energy going on this week. If what happened overnight in Europe is any indication of the energy that's going to be this week, or even just in the next couple of weeks, the tension is going to be very, very palpable this week. We have the Pisces new moon happening. We have Mars and Venus both joining up with Chiron. We have the sun joining up with Jupiter. I know that I'm missing a couple of other things, so let's look at the transits for the week. So Saturday, we'll see the moon in Capricorn, sextile Jupiter, trine Uranus. What's really kind of cool about this weekend, it's going to be more of a somber kind of weekend because the moon in Capricorn just is a little bit more serious. Doesn't mean that they have less emotions. They just don't necessarily show them as much. But a Capricorn moon is a little bit more of a responsible energy. So having it this weekend is going to be a really good time if you have things that you need to get caught up on. The Capricorn moon is going to kind of give you the energy to do that. For some of us, it's going to just be exhausting and just be really, really slow and not a whole lot going on. But the Capricorn moon, sextile Jupiter, trine Uranus, and Capricorn moon joining Venus, Mars, and Pluto on Sunday. And then there will be a midday moon ingress to Aquarius. And that midday moon ingress to Aquarius is going to be very, very palpable. We're going to feel that because it'll lighten up the mood in a big way. Monday, we have the moon in Aquarius joining Mercury and Saturn. And Venus is coming out of post-shadow period on the last day of February. So all of those lessons that you saw while Venus was in retrograde in Capricorn, and even when Mars met up with Venus and they have been together for the last week or so, feeling those restrictions, feeling those things. Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing it where Mars and Venus sit in my house. It's in the 4th house. I'm a Libra rising, and really wanting to expand because Pluto is right there, and Pluto's been right there in Capricorn the whole time, and they will all be meeting with each other this week. And so that Venus retrograde lesson that you were shown is really, really, really going to be pretty loud this week. If you haven't cleared out the space, if you're not moving forward to remove those restrictions in your life, and this could include money, it could include your own self-worth. It was really hard on a lot of people and the narratives that they would say, because Capricorn energy is really, really difficult energy if you're not used to it. Even Capricorns are harder on themselves than anybody could ever be on them. So it's just the Saturnian. It's just the lessons that we're learning. So as Venus comes out of post shadow, she will also sextile the South Node, and the South Node is the past. So you may find at the beginning of the week, you are falling back into old patterns. I talk about the South Node a lot in terms of past relationships, whether it's relationships, romantic, platonic, friends, family, whatever. But a lot of times when we have Venus or the moon coming to the South Node, we're really looking at the relationships in our life. And it's funny to kind of look back on the 2020, the hindsight is 2020 stuff. So this is sort of giving us an opportunity to be able to grow from that Venus retrograde as well. And this whole Venus time in Capricorn, it's just teaching us how to take better care of ourselves. You know, everybody really wanted to work super hard, especially with Mars. And I'm tired of Mars being in Capricorn. That was exhausting. Mars in Sagittarius and then Mars in Capricorn, and just for months, it was just exhausting. So pretty sure it's going to be a little bit lighter as we get into Mars moves into Aquarius, which will be happening next week. But we have Tuesday, March 1st. Welcome to March. We have the moon in Aquarius moving to the Pisces new moon later on in that afternoon. And the sun will also sextile Uranus on Tuesday. So the sun sextile Uranus is really giving us a spark to shift and change our life. There could even be things that are happening that are changing in our life for the better. This is a positive thing that's happening. But this is the kind of energy, the sun sextile Uranus, this Mars and Venus conjunct Pluto, Mercury is going to be conjunct Saturn as well. All of this is happening with the Pisces new moon. And so there is a lot of energy to start brand new, to just start fresh and brand new. And that's really what Pisces season is all about. It's the 12th house. It's the unknown. It is, you know, it's diving within and going deeper and deeper within so that you have that connection with source and all that is. So this Pisces new moon is bringing a lot of manifestation magic to the surface for all of us. And the more we allow ourselves to look at what it is that we're creating in our lives and the pathways where we've been restricted while we're creating these things, and then we see the ease of the other pathways that aren't so restricted, and the fear of going to that ease is very real. A lot of people don't recognize that their minds are putting them in places that are much more difficult than what the actual situation is going to turn out to be. So this Pisces new moon is giving us opportunities to have brand new lives and start new things for long-term gains. That Mercury conjunct Saturn is, I did not write that on here, but that's going to be happening as well. But all of this is going to help open up so many opportunities for everybody, especially where this Pisces new moon is happening for you. You can really, you'll be able to see a cleansing happening. It might even feel a lot like a full moon in a way, because it is a healing. This is all going to be very, very healing. And the Pisces new moon will be conjunct Jupiter at 2-degree orb. So it'll be very interesting to see how everything comes together after this. You might be extra emotional during this time, but that's the cleansing part. That's really helping you do the cleansing of all of this. So then we have Thursday the 3rd, that new moon in Pisces still going to be there, joining up with Neptune, and then we'll have Venus and Mars conjunct Pluto exact for the second time. Then we will have on, and that's where, we were talking about that pressure in Capricorn, and there's going to be a lot of anger that comes out of it. There's going to be a lot of obsession and a lot of jealousy. People aren't going to It's already happening. Like the ego that I see from, and here's the thing, you guys, is the ego isn't always a bad thing to have. We can have a healthy ego too, but the negative toxic egos, the angry, the obsessed, the fear-based egos are really, really loud right now. And I know I'm not the only one that's seeing that. So the way that you're going to be able to work with that energy the best is to, remind yourself of what your job is and what it is that you're doing in this, and allowing yourself to see that what other people are doing is really none of your business, and it's really nobody's business. Now, yes, there are going to be people in your immediate circle where they're doing things and they're affecting you as well. It is 100% up to you to either open your mouth and say, this is what you're doing to me, or this is how you're affecting me in this. And you guys work that out. It's amazing to me that adults don't know how to communicate, but I can understand why. We forget, a lot of us don't even learn how to have healthy communication because we learn not to say things. We learn to hold in our emotions or hold in our thoughts. And that can be very, very traumatic for some people. And they do it their entire lives. They don't even know how to have a healthy conversation with people. But I guarantee you, it will always, 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 always turn out better in the end if you allow yourself to communicate about everything that's going on instead of running away from it. Then Friday the 4th, we have the Aries moon conjunct Chiron. So all of those wounds and traumas and triggers and everything are going to be very surface level. After a really, really emotional new moon, we're going to have this trigger moment next Friday and going into the weekend. And the sun will be conjunct Jupiter all day, exact on Saturday. So some really super massive, expansive energy that's going to be happening right after everybody has to release and cry and feel it all. So it could be a little bit like Carrie at the high school prom getting sprayed with blood. That's a terrible analogy, but that's exactly what came to my mind. That's what this weekend could look like. All right, so let's take a look and see what we have going on Saturday. Let's go through the day today. So Saturday, we have the moon in Capricorn, sextile Jupiter, and trine Uranus, giving all of us really a boost in our ambitions. But the mood could be really, really somber coming into the weekend and through Sunday. So if you look up at all of this stuff going on up here in Capricorn, we have the moon at 14 degrees. We have Venus and Mars conjunct at a degree orb here. We also have Mercury inching closer to Saturn. So this is also creating kind of a somber mood as well. And then we have the sun getting closer to Jupiter too. So really honestly, whether you feel like getting things done this weekend or whether you don't feel like getting things done this weekend, it really depends on where you are when it comes to your own emotional awareness, like your own emotional maturity. Because some people could really, really push themselves super, super hard on Saturday and Sunday, and then just be exhausted by the end of the weekend and then have to start a week all over again and be totally exhausted. So you could work around the house all weekend and do all that, or you could just take this time to allow yourself to feel what's happening. Sometimes the cosmic stuff that's happening in the universe is enough. Like that's all we need. We don't need to be feeling anything else. And so if you need to take some time off this weekend and let yourself relax, Sunday, this is the chart for Sunday, we have the moon in Capricorn joining Venus, Mars, and Pluto. This could be a really deep sensual day, or it could be a day where you're really, really deeply in your feels. So and you could also, there's this, especially depending on where this Mars and Pluto conjunction, Venus, Mars, Pluto conjunction is happening, you could be fighting with yourself, but there's this massive power struggle that we're going to be under all week long. You're probably going to see a lot of it on the news. You're probably going to see a lot of it coming from, you know, just all the political stuff that's happening right now. I mean, but that's as the extent of politics that I'm going to get into. The 28th on February, we have the moon in Aquarius, and Sunday, actually on Sunday, the moon will be transiting into Aquarius midday. Here you see the moon right now is at just left Pluto, and it'll be void too. This is about 10:30 in the morning Central Time. So it'll be void after joining with Pluto and before getting to Aquarius. There we are, about 1:30 in the afternoon Central will be in Aquarius. And I feel that's going to be a palpable shift. Like, yes, the moon is going to be joining Mercury and Saturn, and Mercury is getting closer to Saturn. This is actually really going to help us start the work week off with Mercury conjunct Saturn, with the moon in Aquarius. So let's go to Monday. We have the moon in Aquarius, joining Mercury and Saturn, keeping us all focused on work and responsibilities. Venus at this 25th degree is now at a shadow period. She will be sextile the south node and trine the north node. So this could actually like this really, really in big ways, since Venus is now out of shadow period on Monday, and trine the north node. Makes me feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of people talking about how greedy all of this is, to be quite honest, because I don't feel like the Taurus north node, it's funny because it's the Scorpio south node that makes me feel like where this war is coming from. And the Taurus north node is the one where everybody's kind of reaching towards, like the peace part, the calm part, I know that the Taurus can be the bull. And so like, if you poke the people and poke the people and poke the people, that's going to happen. But yes, this Venus trine the north node on an individual level, you may be meeting people in your life right now that are helping you see where your confidence level, where your self-confidence is, where you are placing your self-worth, and the relationships that you have with the things like money, with your career, with your environment, all of that. So, and are you basing your self-worth also on your success? That's going to be another thing that this Venus trine north node is going to be showing us. Working on your relationships, whether it is platonic, romantic, or family, will be a thing as well. That's going to bring a lot of long-term gains if you allow this time to be a healing process for you and those around you. This could also include relationships with yourself and the relationships that you have with money too. So, and it's kind of it's just really one of those times to make sure that you are grounded and you know what it is, where it is that you are headed and what you're focused on and where you're going. March 1st. Tuesday, March 1st, we have the moon in Aquarius until late afternoon, and then it will ingress to Pisces. So we see this moon in Aquarius at 29 degree here. The sun will be sextile Uranus. So we have the sun at 11 degrees, sextile Uranus at 11 degrees. This can make life a lot more interesting, but not in a bad way. Considering all the other stuff that's going on in the world, I feel like this, and I feel like the sun conjunct Jupiter, this like later on in the week or on Friday, will really help lighten the mood in a lot of ways if we allow it. If you allow yourself to get sucked into what is going on in the world and getting sucked into the media. And I know that that is important to know what's going on. And I understand that we need to have the information to see what's going on in the world and how the United States is going to be involved in that, or how any other country is going to be involved in that. But I don't want you on it all day long, because that's when your soul starts getting like contaminated with all of this negative energy that's coming out of wars. Are not love. That there is no love exists in a war at all. And the more you are focusing yourself on things that are of a negative and toxic way, the harder it's going to be for you to be able to find that joy and gratitude. And my job is to help you guys find joy and gratitude in life, despite the things that are happening in the world, despite the things that are happening in your own personal world. This is about finding your own sovereignty and mindfulness and being aware of yourself. And this Sun sextile Uranus is helping you do that by making changes in your life. The things that you've been working towards and the things that you have been allowing yourself to become a part of are going to help you grow if you allow yourself to do it. A lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting contacts can come out of this. So instead of being caught up in the bullshit that's going on around us, again, yes, I know that you need to be aware and knowledgeable about it, but getting caught up in it is going to take away from being able to see all the beautiful things that are coming into your life. So you'll most likely encounter new experiences that stimulate your curiosity and imagination during this time. You'll feel more alert and quick-witted. You'll also likely feel more free and be less tolerable of anything that may be restricting you in your world. So use this transit to make changes in your immediate surroundings. Chances are your life has become too orderly or too much in a box. Like, we build these structures in our lives to feel comfortable. And if we're not allowing ourselves to shift and change these structures, like I know some people that still have clothes in their closets from 20 years ago. And if that's you, then you need to see, I mean, yes, I know fashions come back, but I mean, you're also allowed to buy the new fashions again, even if they do come back, the old fashions that are new again. But now it's time for your world to expand, and you're ready to experience that expansion in a big way. So that's really helping you do that. And then we go to Wednesday. Hold on one second. Okay, so Wednesday, we are at the new moon in Pisces at 12 degrees. Jupiter is conjunct this new moon at a 2-degree orb. We still have that, the sun at 12 degrees will be still sextile Uranus. So we still have that really amazing energy to help us shift and change during this new moon. We also have Mercury will conjoin Saturn exact on the day of the new moon in Pisces. This is really helping us to do things in our lives that are going to bring gains for long term. Saturn is about patience, right? And Saturn is in Aquarius, is not focused on just you. It's focused on the entire community. So there's a lot of stuff coming out of this Mercury conjunct Saturn new moon in Pisces energy that is helping us heal. And it's helping us, and if we can sit down with other people that we need to have discussions with, this can really help us to have logical, rational discussions with people. If you need to have that conversation, make sure that you aren't in a super emotional state, but that Mercury conjunct Saturn can really help everything stay a little bit even keeled. So I'm hoping that that is a thing for a lot of people, because I know that this is going to be a really emotional time. I know that this new moon is going to be bringing up a lot of stuff, and it needs to. It's again helping us to see the areas of our life that we need to make space in order for us to grow and expand. But this Venus, Mars, Pluto conjunction over here is that pressure cooker, that that feeling of everything pushing down. And this is where the egos are going to rear up. So if you find yourself really, really super irritated on Wednesday, maybe allow yourself to just, heal in isolation. There's nothing wrong with healing in isolation, and there's nothing wrong with healing with other people. The only time it's wrong when you're healing with other people is if you are creating the triggers or the trauma or the wounds on purpose for other people. Like if you lash out or anything like that, there could be a lot of lashing out that happens this week. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be a really emotional kind of boiling up of energy, if you will. Jupiter is going to be expanding the ways we can create abundance in our lives. Mercury conjunct Saturn is providing the tools to create for a long-term gain. But Venus, Mars conjunct Pluto can have us all making impulsive decisions without thinking of the consequences. With these transits, the intensity will be off the charts. With the sun and new moon still sextile Uranus, the things you're focused on will create change effortlessly for you and for other people as well. Best way to handle this energy is to remain grounded, stay hydrated, and do things that bring you peace. That means that if social media is a problem for you, or if watching the news pisses you off and brings negativity, those are the things that you need to cut out. It's really easy to lose joy these days because of the illusion. Pisces season is where the release of all of this will heal all of us. So interesting new moon that will be happening on Wednesday. Thursday, the 3rd, Mars and Venus both conjoin Pluto exact within hours of each other. So let's see, Mars will conjoin Pluto first, and then Venus will conjoin Pluto later on, a couple hours after Mars does. This may have you feeling insecure or even angry about any kind of power struggles, any kind of authority power struggles in your life. Wherever this conjunction is happening in your natal chart, it's showing you the things that have kept you restricted and are already ready to be removed so that you can evolve. This is also showing you how well you can be emotionally mature. Like, have you been working on your emotional maturity? Or, this is really, really, really going to show the people that do not have that emotional maturity yet. I mean, even myself, like I'm a fire moon sign. So I really, really, really have to watch myself sometimes. Like I can get extremely passionate and yelly if I get angry. So, I mean, like even for myself, like this is going to be something where we all have to pay attention to how we're treating other people, how we're projecting onto other people, especially wherever it is that's happening in your chart. And if it's happening in a chart from the 7th house to the 11th house, other people may be projecting onto you. 12th house and the 1st house, you'll be projecting onto yourself. And the 2nd house all the way to the 6th house, you'll be projecting onto yourself or family. It's going to be the moon on Thursday. The moon will join Neptune before going void in the afternoon and ingressing to Aries later on in the evening. So we have the moon in Pisces here, goes void, and then we'll ingress to Aries in the evening. And so it's going to be a really emotionally charged week. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be really emotionally charged days. And it's not a bad thing to be emotionally charged, by the way. It's just a bad thing if you don't know how to handle it when you're being emotionally charged. And emotions can turn to anger when the moon ingresses Aries. So now we have the moon in Aries, and you can see this is this is on Friday. So we have the moon in Aries joining Chiron, making all of the triggers come to the surface. Everything that you've been feeling is coming to the surface. The sun will be conjunct Jupiter all day, but will not be exact until Saturday. So we have here, the sun is at 14 degrees, Jupiter's at 14 degrees. So they're going to be in this little conjunction all day on Saturday or all day on Friday. And then early Saturday morning, we'll conjoin exact. So we actually get this energy for Friday and Saturday. This transit's really going to help everything feel a lot brighter and provides a lot of optimism and generally a positive outlook. You'll most likely desire to have a lot of new experiences. This is a day that you can become extremely restless, especially with that Aries moon. You can become extremely restless if you don't do things, if you don't get yourself out of the house, if you on Friday and Saturday or like next weekend, you don't get yourself out of the house, if you don't make plans for the future, if you don't open yourself up creatively, just like this is really like Sun conjunct Jupiter is just bringing a lot of happier stuff to us, especially after a really heavy week. You're going to really want that, I think. So a generally positive outlook, and this is also going to be a really good day to study. So if you're in school, and I know you're like, Friday is going to be a really good day for all of you guys to get your studying done before the weekend comes. Where this transit can bring happiness and abundance, Jupiter also has that other side where it can be too excessive. So and also you can kind of see this as the extension power play that the Mars, Pluto, and Venus conjunction, still only a degree away from Pluto. So you can kind of see that ego power play extension with that Sun conjunct Jupiter happening in the Mars Venus conjunction as well. So this also may have mean you act in excess and taking on too many projects or responsibilities and doing things that are beyond your ability to handle. So make sure that you're not overextending yourself with all of this. Be sure that you are handling your resources intelligently and be careful not to invest unwisely because of foolish optimism. But a lot of really amazing fun and creativity can come from this transit. So after a pretty heavy week, I feel like towards the end of next week and going into next weekend, things are going to lighten up a little bit as we get more into Pisces season. And we just let ourselves heal through this new moon in Pisces. I have my March calendar is now open. If you guys would like to get a reading with me, remember, this is the last year that I'll be offering readings on a monthly basis. I have solar return reading openings this month. I have $75 30-minute intuitive live readings, tarot readings available. I have a Soul's Journey tarot reading available with oracle cards as well. So all of that stuff is on my website in the description box. And I really appreciate all of you. I'm super excited to see you guys, see how you guys love the new content coming in March too. I'm like, the closer we get to it, the more excited I am. So I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have a great Pisces new moon. Remember to manifest intentionally. We don't want to bring any unnecessary things into our lives where we're learning lessons the hard way. We don't want to learn any more lessons the hard way. So make sure that you are really intentional with everything that you're manifesting with the new moon. I love you guys. Have a good week. Bye.